to my old assistant manager, Joe McAllister, and you know, we was having this debate, and honestly, if I picked a team with the two squads, it would be very even in terms of Hibs players and Fleetwood players. What is Scottish football? Well, it was difficult for me, I think, because I played for Hearts and then Hibs took me on as a manager. You know, I got battered by the media, really. I felt that way, but I think everybody does in Scotland. You know, it's a culture up there where they're very strong, passionate, opinionated, and you know, a good friend is Robbie Nielsen, who got sacked from Hearts, having gotten promoted, got them in Europe, you know, lost a couple of games and ended up gone. I think I was there 15, 16 months. I was the second longest serving in Scotland, which sort of gives you a bit of an idea, sort of the intensity that's there. You know, I loved my time there. It was a big club in terms of like fan base, history. You know, I took over, I think they finished 8th the year before we got into Europe. We won the best game in Europe in 30 years. We just got to the quarter-final of the Scottish League Cup. So, you know, we'd sold £2 or £3 million worth of players. We brought young players through and debuts. So, you know, it was a bit of a shock, if I'm honest. And I wasn't expecting it. We lost the first 3 league games, but there was some circumstance behind it based on playing on the Thursday and the travelling, and Aston Villa in the obviously in the European Cup as well. So, you know, a lot of lessons learned, and a really important part, I think, of my journey as a development as a coach and as a manager. So hopefully I'll be able to bring all those experiences here for a positive. So what is the standard? You know, budget-wise, it's not a million miles off. Like Hibs is a slightly higher budget than we've got here. Academy-wise, 2 really strong academies. Facility-wise, like really strong facilities as well. I think expectation is huge at Hibs. You know, we were going against Aston Villa's £108 million budget plus 180 million on fees, and they genuinely expected us to turn one over those English bastards. Excuse me. And I'm English. So, you know, there's a lot of dynamics. Like, you know, even the media, there's a lot of papers to fill. I went out for dinner with my nan and my mum before the Hearts game, and somebody took a picture of me walking home on George Street, which is the sort of street that I'm sure you guys would enjoy if we went on a pre-season to Edinburgh. And by the time I got home, the CEO was FaceTiming me because it had gone live in the Sun that I was drunk walking down George Street the night before the Hearts game. It's completely untrue and a little bit of a defamation of character as I saw it, but these were the types of things, if you like, that it had to deal with. So back to, I suppose, your question, part of me coming here for me was the purity of the coaching. I think I'm a coach. I think that's the best part of my skill set, to improve players, to develop players, and therefore to be able to have the focus, the time, and the consideration to be able to do that. This felt like a good fit for both, if you know what I mean, and that was why I was here, as well as obviously knowing the history of Fleetwood as a really, really good club. So, you know, I think we could go as a Fleetwood side flying and be decent in that league. At the same time, you know, outside the old firm, there are some top sort of championship standard style players, but I think we've got championship style players. I think Josh Earl is best, as an example, is a top player, and you know, should be in a sort of a top 8 championship side, but he's got to bring it together more often than he does, and then maybe he'll get that opportunity either with us or with somebody else.